What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Thursday. It's May 22nd. Hope you're doing awesome. In this video, we've got an exciting update. We have a Senate committee approving Terry Cole. We'll discuss that. We could see full confirmation here in the next couple of weeks. And we also have MJ Banking potentially being added to the Genius Act. We'll discuss all of that and more, which is a crypto bill. But exciting times ahead. We'll take a look at both of those articles. And before we do, make sure to smash the like, all that good stuff. It helps support the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe. Tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Closing in on 1,000 followers, so I really do appreciate tons of followers lately, and I really appreciate the support. And it's good to have multiple platforms as well, just in case we ever get shut off on YouTube. I have been noticing that that YouTube has become more friendly towards MJ-related content. That's probably why you don't see as much content creators making MJ videos, because they're not suitable for advertisers, therefore you don't make as much money on it. But that's not why I'm here to make YouTube money, right? This is my passion, and I will always be making MJ videos. But it's great to see that we're finally getting across that point where we're seeing big corporations finally start to warm up to this, and it's just decades of stigma and lies, really. But great to see that big corporations, YouTube, Google, is finally starting to warm up to it. And it's also the advertisers, right? Because they're the ones that pay for it. So it's not suitable for some of those. We're starting to see that change, and you never know. Fingers crossed that I don't ever get shut down on YouTube. But it's happened before in the MJ industry. It's happened before in crypto, right? You're seeing tons of companies or CEOs in the MJ industry, in the crypto industry, and Operation Choke Point, which we'll discuss a little bit later on in the video, and they've been actually debanked. So a lot of this makes sense with regards to the crypto bill and adding MJ banking as well, which we'll look at in just a moment. First, we'll take a look at this article here from the MJ Herald. The U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee votes in favor of Terrance Cole as DEA administrator. Cole says MJ rescheduling will be a top priority, and I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic would be a better term, but I'm very hopeful that we should see some sort of movement. I think it's going to be positive overall. I don't believe that he would be put in that position if he wasn't following orders from the top down, and that's what I think it's going to come down to. The U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee has voted 12-10 to advance the nomination of Terrance Cole as the next administrator of the DEA, proving a nominee who has pledged to prioritize the agency's ongoing review of MJ federal status. And then if we scroll down here, the full Senate is expected to vote on Cole's confirmation as soon as early June. So like I said, we could see that some point at the first week of June. But I don't expect any speed bumps or anything like that, roadblocks. I think this will be, I think he'll be confirmed. And like I said, I'm pretty confident that we're going to see some change here under his leadership, and we should see MJ reschedule, in my opinion. And we should see some MJ banking reform as well. And this was the article, this was posted yesterday. So MJ banking amendment could be added to a cryptocurrency bill, which is the Genius Act, in the Senate this week. Opposition group warns, and that's none other than stupid approaches to MJ, Sam, which is Kevin Sabat, however you want to pronounce that clown's name. But we'll go through. A leading anti-MJ group is sounding the alarm about a possible attempt to put MJ banking reform in the cryptocurrency bill that's advancing to the Senate floor this week, asking for help from their supporters to encourage members to oppose a potential amendment that could be offered up. And we know that Senator Elizabeth Warren has been very much against crypto legislation. She just hates crypto, but we all know it's because she gets tons of donations from the big banks like the JP Morgans, and they want to slow it down as much as they can, right? So they're just trying to, she's just doing the bidding for her supporters. But in an email blast on Wednesday, and also Elizabeth Warren is very pro MJ. She wants it legalized at the federal level. So that could potentially help us here in getting this added. But in an email blast on Wednesday, Smart Approaches to MJ, Sam Action said, the MJ industry and its lobbyists are always working to attach pro-MJ bills to any piece of legislation that advances through Congress. And it's concerned that they'll try to insert MJ banking language into the largely unrelated, guiding and establishing national innovation of U.S. stablecoins Genius Act. The Senate will soon take up the Genius Act, a cryptocurrency bill, and the industry is working hard to include safe banking language, Sam said, referring to bipartisan legislation that would prevent financial regulators from penalizing banks simply for working with state legal MJ businesses. But, this would make sense in my opinion, because we know that the cryptocurrency industry has been treated unfairly in the U.S., right? They said that there was clear rules of the road, and then you got a new SEC administrator, Paul Atkins, coming in saying that there was no rules, it wasn't clear, right? So it's just all lies, and that lots of companies were going offshore, and lots of, like I said, companies and CEOs were not able to get bank accounts, or they were debanked, and the same thing is happening to a lot of these MJ CEOs as well. I think Brady Cobb from Sunburn had said that he had been debanked multiple times. So, this has to stop. We're in the 21st century here. It's 2025. We know that it's medicine. We know that it's safer than alcohol and tobacco. It's just they're trying to slow the industry down. And in my opinion, we're more than likely going to see, crypto legislation first. And then if this gets tacked on, then great. But I think they're going to focus on crypto. And then after that, the focus is going to be on MJ, in my opinion, over the next couple of years, getting it, reform, either rescheduled or full. They might even attempt to deschedule it, which I think is ultimately where we'll end up. It's just a question of when, not if. But as you can see here, this was from French Hill. And the Biden administration, Operation Choke Point 2.0, was carried out by the prudential regulators to target and debank the digital asset ecosystem. So Choke Point, the original Choke Point, there was, ties to guns and MJ and tobacco. And, they do this with every industry that's really disrupting the status quo, right? And like I said, we've seen tons of, targeting of crypto companies and executives, and the same thing's happening in the MJ industry. So I think it would make a lot of sense that we get this added here. And I think it's about time that we get with the program here and start to support these industries. Obviously, I've been a very big supporter of crypto as well. And just because, my passion is MJ, but at the end of the day, cryptocurrency, it's not even apples to apples, right? They're not even close in terms of, how big the opportunity is going to be. Like crypto's almost $3.5 trillion market right now. MJ will be lucky to get to $1 trillion in the next decade or two. Whereas crypto, maybe even this year or next year, could hit 5 to 10 trillion. And ultimately, I think it will hit 50 to 100 trillion in terms of value, right? In terms of market cap. So, it's not even in the same, ballpark as MJ. So that's why I think they're focusing on crypto first. But if we can get this tacked on, that'd be absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. And like I said, get some sort of banking language added there to protect this industry and these companies and their CEOs and executives in the U.S. And then ultimately, get credit cards, being able to buy MJ in the U.S. with a credit card. You still can't do it effectively. It's treated as a cash transaction. You can buy it with, say, a debit card, but it's basically an ATM withdrawal is how they're setting it up. So you can't buy with a credit card. Like, it's just silly that we're in 2025 and this hasn't been sorted out yet. And we'll see what happens over the course of the next couple of weeks. But there's talk that we could see the official, and Terrance Cole confirmed around early June. That's sometime around then where we could see the Senate vote for the Genius Act as well. We could see it pass sometime in June, maybe July. But over the next couple of months, in my opinion, we should see a huge uptick in MJ. We've already been seeing stock prices bounce quite a bit off of the lows, and we've been seeing a little bit of leaders and laggards. But overall, I do think that we're going to continue to see, big tech, crypto, AI really steal the show. And once we get crypto legislation out of the way, then I think they're going to pivot over to MJ. I think that'll be the big focus and the play over the coming years. All right, going into there, it's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again in the next video.